Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel and my tutorial series on making the Authentique, the calendars collection calendar book that I've been making. We will in this video be decorating the pages for April, May, and June. We've already done January, February, and March. So to start off, we're going to add a pocket to this page here. All the pages have been already matted with pattern paper from the collection in one of my earlier tutorial videos. All these videos will be in one playlist on my YouTube channel, so they're easier for you to find. And then as I add a video, I will add a link at the end of the video so that you just click to go to the next one. So for this one, for April, we're going to put a pocket at the bottom. And I've cut this 9 inches wide by 3 inches tall. Scored it at 1/2 inch on each end on the 9-inch side. So this is going to go right in here. So I'm going to go ahead and put my pattern paper on so that I've already cut and inked. I think I have. I'm going to re-ink it a little bit. Maybe I didn't get it inked as good as I wanted to. I don't like any white showing on the edges, so make sure if you're inking to ink all your pattern paper pieces. And this one I cut to mat on here. This is the back side of these umbrellas in the April patterns of the collection. So this piece will be 7 3/4 by 2 and just a little over 2 5/8. So just measure yours and see how it looks, see what kind of matting you want around it. So I'm going to take my glue real quick. Now we're just going to go ahead and glue this on. So I'm going to move this up so you can see. It's real simple. You just add your glue and then attach this down to the pocket. Real quick and easy. And make it kind of even with the matting on the top edge and the bottom edge. So I'm going to burnish that down. Okay. Now on January, I put it all the way to the bottom of the page, and I probably will do that the same here to give me plenty of room. So turn it over to the back side, put glue on both of the 1/2 inch flaps that you have made. Then a line of glue, it doesn't matter which side, just on one side, a line of glue along the bottom to seal that pocket. And we're going to go ahead and place it more to the outer edge at the bottom of the page. Just in case it's off a little bit, you don't want it going into the fold. So we want to line it up right there. And then of course you want to burnish and make sure it sticks in really good. So there's your pocket on your page. So I have a couple of things going on here that I want to do. I've gone ahead and matted onto black these stamps, and then this pretty April, which I normally put up here at the top. And I have cut a couple of tags out of the cut aparts. So this one I added April showers, and I've gone ahead and put this tag on this little bit of really pretty pink flowery trim here for this one. I matted this Life Isn't About Waiting for the Storm to Pass, It's Learning to Dance in the Rain. And then I made a card here that is A2 size, which means it's 4 1/4 wide by 5 1/2 tall. I just used some of the blue from the solid in the collection, one of the cut aparts, and then another cut apart matted on some of the yellow from probably another month. Anyway, to make that stand out and put that on there. So this is a card that's going to go in the pocket. And then I made I cut out some other things here. I don't know about this one, if I'm going to use it yet. This one says spring. I'm going to go ahead and ink this one. This is 3 cut aparts still attached together. So I've got the tulips, the spring, and the Easter basket here. And I thought that it would be kind of cool to have like a belly band treatment right here pocket. So I'm just going to glue these on each end. The pocket is the same size as January, but I kind of want to make the pattern, the layout, or whatever I'm doing a little bit different. So just put it on here and then burnish. Make sure we don't have any glue oozing out. And then I also, like I said, I want April, I think April up here in the corner. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this whole piece down. And you can follow along with my decorating on what I do, or you can branch out on your own and just have a lot of fun with it. Use the elements, different elements that you like that are in the collection. Put that down. And then this one that's matted, I think I'm going to put it right about there. This, you know what, I think I may just keep it as a tuck-in. So I'm going to take my stamps that I did. This one's a real pretty butterfly. They're both matted to black, so I'm going to stick these at the top. I've been kind of doing this on all of the pages so far, so I like that, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so I have this here. It's the same size, and I'm thinking of making an additional belly band tuck spot. So I'm just putting glue on each end. So this is cut the same width as length as this, or width, and it's about a 1/2 inch. I'm going to kind of drop it down towards the bottom of it, about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom of this first one. So now we have it open here, and we have it here, and we have the pocket there. So as I said, this card goes in the pocket, so you can put more than one card, but for now we're just putting one. And we got to make sure that sticks down right there. Okay. Need to burnish. And I am going to need to put a stopper here on the bottom. So we'll figure that out, because this is going to go like in here, and we don't want it falling out the bottom. Though if it's tight enough, it might stay. April showers, and this one over here. So I need to find a ribbon for this one. So I think, well, I may not need a stopper on those. I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that for now. And I'm going to find a ribbon for this one, a seam binding ribbon, and scrunch it up and tie it in this tag here. Okay, so to my tag, I tied on some of this pretty braided trim I had in my stash, some pink seam binding ribbon that I scrunched up, tied on the end. So this is going to tuck in here. Then I like this white trim, so I glued a bit of it along the bottom here of this belly band up here. Then I also took another cut apart that I liked that shows the April showers, the two little girls, matted it to the pink back side of the solids, and then tied a bow out of the pink seam binding ribbon and added a teal colored epoxy. Couldn't think of it. Gemstone epoxy flat thing. So that just tucks in there. And so I like that. That's April. April's done. So next we're ready to move on to May. So these are all real simple, basically all the same elements, just maybe the pockets are different. Some of the trim is different as we go through this year in this calendar book. So I'm ready to cut up my elements, do some matting, make my card, and then I'll be back to finish up here working on May. Okay, so we're ready to finish up with May. I've done a lot of prep work here on my pieces, but I'm going to show you what I've done. We're going to make basically the same layout as we did for April, right across from it. So we have the pocket out of cardstock that is 9 inches by 3 inches, scored 1/2 inch on each end of the 9-inch length. We're going to fold that back, and then I pre-cut my paper, and I decided to use a solid on this one, so I'm using a solid from the May collection of solids. I'm going to use the yellow side. So I have cut this down to 7 3/4 wide by just a little over 2 5/8. So I'm going to ink this up. I thought I already had, but it doesn't look like it. So just real quickly ink that up. I like to lightly ink so that I'm not getting a lot on the front, but enough on the edge to hide the white stuff, or where the edge is cut. So I've got my glue. So I'm going to go ahead and mat this first and then attach the pocket down. Center this. Go ahead and burnish it down. Some glue may have dropped out of it. Oops. Get my bone folder here, or my burnishing tool. This is a Teflon burnishing triangle, like a bone folder, but it's just a triangle shape, so it's easy to hang on to. Sometimes I lose it, so you don't always see me use it. So now we fold these hinges back. And we're going to put the glue along the bottom edge. It doesn't matter which one because it's a solid pattern paper. And on the hinges. And then go ahead and place your pocket down. And again, I start with it more to the cut edge here on the side. Line it up straight so as to avoid going into my fold area here on the page. So then burnish it really well. Okay, and there's our pocket. So I did make a card, and this is out of the white heavy cardstock that I like to use for cards. I matted some of the the plaid, and then the image, which I trimmed down to fit. So this is an A2 card, which is 4 1/4 wide by 5 1/2 tall, the base of the card. So of course that's going to go in the pocket, but before we do that, let's go ahead and build up this pocket down here. So I have the 3 cut aparts still connected together, which will be a belly band. And then on top I put the 1/2 inch wide trim as a belly band and added this pretty lace that I had in my stash, these flowers. So I just glued that on the top of that. So this is still open, and this will be open. So we're going to put glue on each end. And then I'm going to look at this, and I'm going to make it just kind of mirrored this. So it's about 1/4 inch from this edge. So I'm going to do the same here. Just press it down flat. We want it flat. Excuse me. And burnish those ends. Make sure it sticks down good and doesn't move. Right there. It's kind of a little hard to burnish with that trim there. So burnish really well and press down. And glue will grab. There we go. Okay, so for that, I'm going to go ahead and do this back up in here. We have May, and I'm going to put that out here on this edge. So I did mat this to the black cardstock. And sort of position it in about the same general location. There, real pretty right there. Then I have 2 stamps from the May collection pages. Have the pretty flowers and the bird. So these are going to go on here and here. So let's go ahead and touch these down, and again these are matted to the black cardstock. Such pretty paper. It really is. Okay, so we have this little, I'm going to go ahead and put the card in. I have this little cut apart. Oh, I need to mat this. So I matted it on the pink dot. What did we do with this one? So I need to mat this to some black. So let me grab that real quick and I'll mat this. Okay, so I matted it to black so it's solid on the back. The reason I didn't mat this one to solid paper from the May, this here, the pink or the yellow, is because that's what I used on the inside of the cover of the album. Like right here and then also on the inside. So I don't have enough of that left. So you may find that situation also, but this is going to work just fine. So I'm going to slip this in here. Put the card more this way. There we go. Then I did a saying out of the cut apart. Be like a wildflower, beautiful, fierce, and free. And that's going to tuck in behind here. So I'm going to put it over here on this side. Right there. Okay, and then we have the two tags that I made. This one from the collection, I used some of the different colored pink seam binding ribbon, some of the button twine to wrap around that and just tie that in. So that's going to tuck in there. And then this one is just the pink, and I cut the trim, same trim, so that's going to tuck in there. Now if you want to put a saying on this, you can. I did not cut anything apart. Let me see what we've got. We got Mayflowers, Blossoms, Sweet Breeze, Rejuvenate, Happy Mother's Day. I think I'm going to use Mayflowers. Now often my cut aparts, I cut them with my big scissors, because if you have a big scissor that has one long straight blade, you can just, without moving anything, you can cut short pieces pretty straight without having to go to your trimmer. If you're not comfortable with that, then of course definitely use your trimmer for that. So I'm separating this at the May and the flowers. I'm just trimming down closer to the words because I'm going to put these here. May flowers. And you can ink these if you want to. I'm not, because they're so tiny. So I'm just going to glue this on. May flowers. Okay, so this is it for May. Put that in like that. I really like how that turned out. So it looks really good. So we're ready to flip this over and we'll work on June. Now remember, June already has the pocket in here because I had to do the split because I didn't have enough paper. So I'm going to pull all my elements together, and then that will be this second page decorating video. And then in the next one, which may be a week before I have it, because I want to start working on the easel box, we'll have a video for July, August, September, and then we'll do October, November, and December to finish it all up. Okay, so we're ready to decorate June. I have all my little bits and pieces gathered around and matted that I wanted matte. Of course, I made the card on the white heavy cardstock, A2 size, which means 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. They're all the same size that I'm making. I matted it with some of the gray stripe off of the back of either sentiments or the patterns. Cut apart, congratulations, matted it to some of the same yellow. And so I made this card with this image. Keep it flat. Now what you could do if you wanted to is add, some Wink of Stella, some glossy accents or anything to kind of make that pop if you want to. I'm not doing it right now because I'm trying to get this all into the book and I don't have a lot of time to wait for it to dry, but it's something I certainly might do later after the project's done. So I'm going to lay the card there. I did create the June, cut out the June cut apart, and matted it onto black. So I'm going to put that one here. So I'm going to go ahead and get my glue on it. And I'm just going to bring it up close to the top as I can, right there on the edge. Okay, burnish that down. It's getting a little more difficult because this is thicker, so if you opted to decorate before you put it in the book, that would certainly work out probably better for you. I do a lot of decorating in the book, so I get kind of used to it, and I just use my hand to kind of support things behind there. Make sure I'm not losing anything at the bottom. Now then, I want to add, this is going to be a little different. This is going to go in here. Kind of turn it. I was thinking it was going to go right there, but maybe down a little more. Just kind of in the background here, behind the card. So I'm going to go ahead and put the glue. This is matted. It's a cut apart. And it's matted to the black cardstock, the artisan cardstock. I'm going to kind of tuck it into that pocket and then bring it right up here close to June, the J, like that. So June, the month of June is kind of kickoff for summer. So if you want your summer images for weddings, like the congratulations card, Father's Day, whatever you want to put on that, there's a lot of different cut aparts that you could use. I'm going to make a smaller, I think, pocket here. It's not a belly band, but a pocket. So I took the Beehive store ticket. I'm going to put glue on both sides. Pay attention that I'm putting it on the bottom. And then I'm going to glue that just about 1/8 of an inch from the edge. Kind of center it top to bottom if I can. So I'm going to burnish that, the edges. And I made, from the cut aparts, a tag. This has the bees on it. This one I did a little different. I wrapped the sunshine around it with the bees on the back. Left this open like a belly band. I have one of these stamps that I matted to black from the cut aparts. I did what I call a loose fussy cut. Loose fussy cutting, where it's fussy cut around, but you leave margin around it, so it's easier to cut, especially for these teeny, let me see, tiny things. This is a little bee from the pattern paper, and I just glued it right on the bottom so that when I slip this stamp piece in, it just catches it on the bottom. It still comes out, but it doesn't fall. So I used some blue seam binding ribbon from Country Craft Creations. I spritzed it with water and let it wrinkle, crinkled it up and dry, and I added this natural button string, and then I tied a knot on each end. I tied a knot at each end of the seam binding. I always tie knots in my ribbons so that they can just go ahead and fray natural. And then from Butterbee scraps, I added this bee charm. Now this comes from their collection called Flyby. So you get butterflies and the bee and some other things, ladybugs. So it's really pretty. I'll share the link to their website down below. She provides lots of charm, dangle charm kits for Country Craft Creations to sell. And so as a designer, we have permission to share her website. You're going to love all the different elements that she has. So, you know, this charm, it flips either direction. It's going to look fine, whichever way it hangs. So I just tied it on and used a tiny bit of art glitter glue to secure it. I don't want it to come loose. So this is going to slip into this little pocket we just made, just like that. Okay, and then decided I wanted another belly band here, and I think I'm going to cut that. So it needs to be, I could have underlapped it over that, but I want that to be a pocket. So we're going to measure this to be, I'm going to cut it at 4 3/4. So I'm going to do that real quick. So this is just going to glue on each end. Kind of brings in the gray of these other elements. This is from the collection, the back side of the cut aparts. So put glue on each end. And I'm going to center it with this ticket and bring it over here to the side. And let that dry. Now while it's drying, this time the stamps that other two stamps that I matted, I'm going to glue them just in the center here. I don't want them to go over the belly band. So I'm just laying them right there. That brings in the wedding cake type thing. I'm going to hold that down for a second. And I do have this Perfect Day tag I made, added some like braided white lacy trim. And that's going to tuck in there. Now if you want to secure this, I am going to go ahead and put just a little bit of glue along the bottoms of these two stamps, right there. So I'm going to hold that, let that dry. So it is a belly band pocket where it's open all the way through, but then we secured it here on the bottom with other elements. So that's just to keep everything from falling out. So that's going to go in there. Then I made this little trifold out of the three cut aparts together. We got the bead, the wedding bells, the summer, and I just folded them on each line, made it fit in together, so you can put whichever direction you want in it, or you can fold it this way to have your wedding bells, and then that's just going to tuck right in there with that. And then of course, let's remember to add our card. Very pretty. I like that. I like the June page a lot. That is my husband and I's anniversary month, so I like that really well with that. So that's the conclusion for this decorating video. We did April, May, and June. So in the next video, which may be, like I said, about a week or so from the uploading of this one, we will continue with July, August, September, and then another video. Let's see, July, August, September, another video for October, November, and December. Okay, thanks. Oh, and remember to shop at Country Craft Creations for this wonderful collection by Authentique called The Calendars.